Alrighty, traders, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome to the live stream here as we go ahead and take a look at the rate decision out in Canada. They're looking to cut the rates 25 basis point, but I think there's going to be a surprise. Traders, we'll go ahead and talk about this in a little more details. We'll take a look at the technicals in just a moment. See you back in about a couple of seconds. Woo! All right, traders. Man, I tell you something. Crazy markets, crazy times. And we're going to go ahead and take a look, see what's going on with the market this morning as we dive into some of the technical setups that we're looking at right here. And the question here behind a lot of doors is, are the central bank, is the Canadians going to cut interest rates? Because, listen here, there's a lot of things why they would not cut interest rates. Firstly, number one, they wouldn't cut interest rates because the US is holding, the US central bank is holding interest rates on hold right now. All right, they're keeping interest rates on hold, which means that the Canadians don't really want to make the first move until they know what exactly is going on with the US, and so that could be a very good reason why they wouldn't cut. Yes, so they're seeing a little softening in the jobs market. They're seeing, and they talk about this. Is I like to really understand when they say that we're seeing a downtrend in inflation. There's no downtrend in inflation. We see a little tick down, but it's a 0.1%. It's not a downtrend that we're seeing in inflation. So I don't think that even in the inflation numbers is good enough to say, man, we have such a big downtrend. We've got to start stimulating the economy by cutting interest rates. That is not happening. All right? It's not happening. I don't understand their logic and their wording around that because it's not a downtrend. It's like saying the sky is green. You look up, you go, no, it's not green, it's blue. But as long as they keep telling you it's green, some people are going to start believing that. And so I'm saying that this is not a downtrend in inflation. But listen here, who knows what the central bank's going to do? If they cut interest rates, the question here is the Canadian dollar going to continue to weaken? And I don't think so. I think we're at the bottom right now. I think we might see a bit of manipulation, but I think the Canadian dollar will start strengthening again. I don't think that they're going to see further downside moves in the Canadian. Now, let's go take a look at some technical setups right here on my chart as we dive into what's really going on right here. Now, I've got the CAD Swiss right here, and we notice that the market has gone ahead and broken down below here, right? So we've had a break below that low. This was an indication that the market moved out of sell side liquidity, sort of sell side of the curve, to the buy side of the curve. But now that we've broken through this, could this just be a manipulative move? Traders, it's going to be important to see how this candle closes out today. I think that the fact that we've taken out the sell side liquidity right here creates a concern, not a concern, but creates a possibility that this was just to liquidate stop losses right here. So this is a stop hunter, call it whatever you wanted. I think it was a stop hunt to take out that liquidity right here. And I think we're going to see price coming back up here. We're going to see price taking out the high. We're going to see a nice market structure shift, and we're going to start working its way back up. We had to. The smart money had to go ahead and take out some stop losses, had to take out some liquidity in order for them to drive prices up. The long-term outlook on this particular pair is still chasing after much higher targets up here at around about 68.30. All right, that's where we're going. And so this is just a bit of manipulation before price goes back up. Now, we'll keep an eye on this because certainly things have changed with regards to buyer side. And we're looking at this now and saying, all right, so we've got accumulation right here. By the way, accumulation. This is the sell side of the curve in the short term. We're looking for manipulation and market structure shift. And then we're looking for the market to move to the buy side of the curve, which means the target for that move is all the way up here at 66.20. All right. Now, we've got 2 minutes left before the news comes out. Let's quickly take a look at the next pair. And just FYI, if you look behind me, there's two charts on there. There's the daily time frame on the US dollar CAD and the daily time frame on the CAD Swiss. Those are the two pairs that I'm really focused in on. Now, let's go to US dollar CAD here. US dollar CAD has gone ahead And you can see right here, we've gone ahead and sweep the high. In fact, we've taken that high, we sweep the high. We're seeing consolidation. It's been like this for a year. And I promise you now, I don't believe that the news out today is going to be enough to drive the market through here. Now, you might be saying, well, big dog, you know what? We're probably heading into a into a stronger dollar due to the fact that we're inside that last 6 months of the U.S. elections, and yes, maybe we're going to see a downside moving in the Dow. Maybe we're going to see the Dow starting to dip down as investors start getting concerned about the U.S. elections and where it's going. And that would mean that it'll drive more volume into the dollar. Traders, we're 6 months away from that. All right. It doesn't mean that we can't see price dropping back down to some insufficiency here before driving back up and maybe possibly looking for a manipulation move. The way I look at it is this. We're inside accumulation. Until we get a confirmed breakout and show manipulation, we know then what the directional bias is going to be. Traders, we're less than a minute in before the news comes out. It's going to be at 9:45. Let's go ahead and take a look over here and pop it open. Yep, 5 seconds. Let's see here. We're going to get an update. We're probably going to see more of the markets. They see they're expecting a rate cut of 25 basis point. I'm going to look at the market and look at that 25 basis points. So they actually cut the rate. Shocker. I'm telling you right now. For me, that's a shock. All right, let's take a look and see how the market's reacting accordingly. So I'm going to move it down to a 15-minute time frame, and let's take a look over here. So a little bit of a spike to the upside. All right, not that serious. We've already seen price manipulation here, or at least a reversal here on the 15. Let's go to the 1 hour. So if we take a look here on the 1 hour, we can see that the market created a low, high. We've swept the low. Price is moving back on a retrace move. Let's see if we head lower. And if we head lower, here is our intraday draw of liquidity down here. So we're going to be looking for price to drop back down a little bit further down south to take out that liquidity at that point right there. That's the draw of today. That is certainly the draw of today. If we do see this market structure shift hold. Now, I would like to have seen price displace below there. We didn't quite get a good displacement below there, which means still this could be our external structure. All right. If this is the external structure right here, then that's the draw of the day. 137.53. All right, 157.53. Now, traders, I'd like to look and see, while we're looking at this, what is our let's take a look here. What is the stock market doing this morning? Here is the 1 hour time frame. We can see here we've had a little bit of a push to the downside right here. So if I go to the daily time frame, what is the bias? The bias is bearish, but we do have a fair value gap here. The price can come back up and retest. So this is a daily fair value gap. So although we have created this little move right here, I'm going to look at this and say, hey, this could be a manipulative move today. And then we could see price coming back up again to fulfill that fair value gap. So that means a risk on trading day. What does that mean? Risk on means that we're going to see the US dollar sell off. So US dollar sell off, we're going to see a pound rally, we're going to see euro rally, we're going to see, euro dip, we're going to see a Swiss franc dip or lose ground, and we can see JPY lose ground, risk off, right? And so right now, it's about waiting. And what are we waiting for? We're waiting to see how the market is going to deal with the news that's just come out. So let's go back to the Canadian. Here is that daily time frame right here. Again, it's going to take, and by the way, traders, it's going to take till the end of day to figure out what sort of market manipulation we have today. Whether this is indeed manipulation above that buy side and that we're all going to move back down. And if we do close out back below the previous day high, then this is going to, it doesn't matter. It just has to be a candle like this. Even if it's just a candle like this, right? If it does this and close out below the previous daily high, we're then chasing after this area right there. And that again is, like I said to you, it's 37.50. All right, we're going to get down there. And if we close below that area, like something like this, we close below that area, then that's going to indicate that price is going to try to rebalance, and we're going to see price coming all the way back down here. Now, if it does that, traders, I'm really going to go ahead and revert back to this big consolidation that we have here, and we're going to expect price to come back to retest the 3600 area, and even a possible breakout of that as we start looking for the market to sweep these sell side liquidity levels right here. And that could be the manipulation move before we start seeing distribution in US dollar CAD. And then that would confirm, right, what we heading into over the next 6 months, and that is possibly a risk off trading environment, meaning that Dow's going to weaken as the dollar starts strengthening due to concerns about the US election. As things materialize through the course of the next 6 months, maybe things change a little bit, and the consensus across the board are a little bit more confident about where we're going. But at the moment, right now, there's a lot of things happening in the marketplace. I mean, we've had the attempt on President Trump, or at least the former president. We've had, of course, the Joe Biden fall out of the race. I mean, this has never happened where someone's running, being the nominee, and running and then drop out of the race. All right. We've had someone drop out of the race well before he actually started running and campaigning. Then we've got, of course, possibly a new president that is totally new. I mean, we're talking about a female that is going to be running the White House, and that's something totally new to everyone as well. So again, there's a lot of questions whether this U.S. election right now taking place this year or for the next 4 years is going to be what is going to be the best outcome for the U.S. And okay, everyone's got their own opinion. I get it. I've got my own opinion. I'm not sharing that with you at this point in time because I don't want to get political. But I'm just saying that there's a lot of things on the side that people are getting extremely concerned and nervous about. And so again, traders, we have to be able to monitor the markets and look at the setups and know that we cannot get emotional about things that are happening. We have to be at least strategical about our decisions. And so my thing right now is I'm looking at daily ranges and I'm looking for those U-turns. I'm looking for a U-turn in the market. And so right now, daily closes are important to me. And I would like to see price manipulation. Like to see price come back into this daily range right here and then work its way back down here. So far, I don't have it. I've got to wait for this daily candle to close out. In fact, there's a lot of traders that email me, Big Dog, what's going to happen with the US dollar CAD? Well, I don't know until I see the daily close. If I see the daily close and we see an indecision candle, we see price closing out below the previous daily high, that's an indication for me to now start saying, hey, I'm starting to feel comfortable that the market's going to move down south. I've got more conviction now that price is going to move further down south. But I've got to wait for this to happen. All right. I've got to wait for this to happen in order for me to be able to make that sort of assumption. All right. And so I'm going to be watching this. Now, can I go to lower time frames to see any sort of maybe manipulation down there? Yes, absolutely. I can go down to the 1 hour. And already on the 1 hour, what am I looking for? I'm looking for market structure shift, right? That's my early sign. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the highs, the lows, the highs, and then I'm looking for market structure shift. So what I'd like to see is price coming down, sweep the low right here, see displacement, then maybe a retracement to retest resistance, and then start working back down south. Now that's on a 1 hour time frame. If I move this down to even a 15-minute time frame, do I see market structure shift here? Yeah, I actually see a lot of things happening here. All right, we can see here we had consolidation, all right, accumulation, we saw manipulation, and then price turned around and headed back down to that low. All right, now are we seeing something else happening? Well, we could possibly see something. This is market structure shift on the 15-minute time frame. Does it hold? We'll have to see if that high holds. All right. Now, could we get a turtle soup, which means we sweep the high and actually see manipulation right there? That is also possible. All right. These areas are where people are placing stop losses. Remember, Market manipulation is what we call stop hunting, right? Where traders start putting themselves in a position thinking that, hey, this is where the market's heading based on the short term. I'm going to go ahead and put my stop losses over here. I'm going to put my stop losses right here. And what is price going to do? Price wants to go in and clear up liquidity before moving in the opposite direction. So manipulation is a real thing. It happens. Smart money knows where the order blocks are sitting, and they want to go ahead and clear up the path for deeper profits. And that's always going to be the case. So don't get emotional about your trades. Let the markets decide on what's going on and how to be able to take action. So again, although the market's pushing up right here, this is not necessarily where the overall move is going to be. This may very much be manipulation before the market moves in the opposite direction. Now, me personally, I'm going to wait for the daily close, all right? Because everything inside the daily is just noise. Look for the daily close to happen and use the daily candle to understand where price is going to move to. When we see price moving back below the previous day high, that is your first sign that we're now completing what we call the market model. All right. And that means that we are now seeing accumulation, manipulation, and we should expect now distribution to the south side of the curve, which means that we're moving towards sell side liquidity to draw that liquidity based on smart money techniques. So with that being said, traders, very exciting day today. A lot of things going to happen, but let's wait until the close of today before we decide on how the market's moving. So don't get caught up with the news. Don't get emotional about the news. All right? Allow it to play out, and then we'll take the bigger picture and define where the market's at based on the closes, not based on what we think and anticipate is going to happen. Let's rather wait for it to confirm, get conviction, and then we can go ahead and start building a trading plan around that. With that being said, traders, have a fantastic afternoon. Good luck with your trading, and I will see you next time.